there was a signing, and I was wondering who was it that signed this week, and they took all that deferred money.
Oh, Vatrano.
Is that going to start to be a thing? Do you think that's a way for teams? I mean, the higher taxed places to can they manipulate that and take advantage of it? I mean, it comes down to the player willing to do it,
right?
But
teams will try. Teams will try, and they'll probably do it more so with veteran guys. Vatrano was a surprise, similar to Seth Jarvis with the Carolina Hurricanes when he did it. Look, John Tavares is on an expiring contract. He'd love to stay in Toronto. I would think that Treliving will try and get that AAV as low as possible. So that's a vehicle that he might be able to use. And he might be able to use it before the expiration date of the current collective bargaining agreement, because I think the NHL is going to step in and at least have the conversation with the Players Association. Okay, what do we not like about this? Do we need to do something to curb it? The Vatrano one, to me, and this is just me, doesn't make sense. And no, it's not just me. A lot of player agents I spoke to after that deal hate it, think it's crazy, because you're talking about 10 years down the road. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm old school in that sense. I want to earn my money, but I want to get paid. And then I want to put my money in the hands of the people that I trust to invest it and help my money grow. I don't want to have to think about deferred money 10 years down the road. I mean, how do they know what the tax system is going to look like a decade from now? So that one was weird. It was just flat out weird. But for the older guys, there's two things that we're going to look at. And I don't want anybody's eyes to glaze over here who's paying attention or watching. So you've got the deferred salary, which you're right, is becoming more and more of a thing. And then you've got RCAs, which is the retired compensation agreement, right? And that's becoming more and more of a talking point in negotiations, mostly for the older player or the player who's at least in the back nine. And if he's looking at a multi-year deal, he might want that to be a part of it because he recognizes that it'll ultimately be his last contract. So there's some creativity. I'm just not sure if that deferred salary is the right way to go at this point.
Imagine if California closes that loophole and he's got to pay full tax on that anyway. Like, it's governments, right? Like, it's not like, oh, here's the rules now, that's what they're going to be in 10 years. Like, these municipalities and states and provinces are going to try to close these loopholes that are there, like the Otani one. And when you splash $700 million US in front of California's face and you say, oh, you're not going to get taxed on this, I'm going to pay this when I live somewhere else, they're going to put legislation in place to try to stop it. It would be an absolute disaster if you didn't get paid for 10 years and you still had to pay all the tax. And it was like you've lost a lot of money and a decade of accruing values. That would be
man. I mean, you're sounding like a lot of the agents that I've talked to who don't understand it and don't appreciate it. They just, but look, I mean, that's why you have good representation. And the guy who manages, Peter Fish, is an experienced agent. I mean, I guess if you want to give credit from a position of being devil's advocate, give credit to Solomon or whoever did it from Anaheim's perspective. It likely wasn't Pat Verbeek, but someone in that group. Because, and I love this when it came out, hey, Anaheim, we're not that far away from being a cap spending team. So now we have to protect every nickel. I mean, unless Pat Verbeek goes out in free agency and just starts knocking them out of the ballpark and brings in a bunch of big contracts, they seem to be a ways away from needing or wanting or expecting to be a cap team. So I just don't know why Frankie Vatrano was the guy to experiment on this at this point.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.